Hello, welcome everybody to our session. It's our first mindfulness session that we are facilitating as a part of Alina Health team. My name is Jana Netterfield. I'm going to be your facilitator for today, and my co-facilitator and co-host is Stacy Bessanen, and she will introduce herself in just a minute. Again, welcome to everyone. Just a few housekeeping items here. Everybody should be muted upon entry. However, if you accidentally unmute yourself, please mute your line. Just make sure that that mute button is clicked on your screen so that everybody can enjoy the presentation without any background noise. Thank you so much for doing so. If you do have any questions, if you do have any concerns, if you would like to add something to the content that we're talking about, or if you have any feedback as we go through the session, please plug in your thoughts in the chat box. We will most likely not going to be able to take any live questions just because we have quite a few folks on the line, over 100 today. So please share your thoughts. This session is going to be very reflective and hands-on, so we would like to hear from you if possible. Another housekeeping item is that if you would like to have any kind of information provided to us based on today's session, or anything that any thoughts that you have, you will be able to send us information via email. We will have some contact info plugged in on the last slide as we go through presentations, so stay tuned. And we are going to go ahead and get started. So welcome everyone to our session today. It's the first in our 4 series of mindfulness session. And the first one is gratitude and focusing on the positive. Just like I said, my name is Jana Netterfield. I am a community health program coordinator here for Alina Health, and I'm going to be your host and facilitator for today, along with Stacy Bessanen. Just on a separate note, just a little bit about myself. I have been with Alina Health for 10 years, and I'm a self-proclaimed mindfulness on the journey to mindfulness person. I really have never thought that mindfulness practices are going to be a part of my life. I have never been interested in any kind of mindfulness practices, and for the longest time, to be honest with you, I thought that eating kale and going for a walk could cure all disease and all issues that we might have within ourselves. Until a while back, maybe a few years ago, I started working on some of the internal challenges that I faced in my life. And I realized that healthy eating and exercise have a huge part in how we live our lives. And it's extremely important to our physical and mental health and mental well-being, and also emotional health and how we view ourselves. And at the same time, this is not all-encompassing. I definitely needed something more. And I started exploring this concept of mindfulness. And there was very instrumental people in my life who stepped in and offered some advice and helped me start on this journey. And as a mindfulness practitioner, I will tell you that it was a chaotic road to starting to practice some of these tools that we're going to talk about. So I will stop here for a second, and I will let Stacy introduce herself.
Hi, thank you all for being here. My name is Stacy Bessanen, and I've been with Alina for about 20 years, and I facilitate wellness programming as well as mindfulness training, and I really believe in the power of positivity and really living your best life. And so I will be walking you through some activities that hopefully can help you today. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Stacy. I will preface today's session with a few things. We do have about 45 minutes to cover a lot of the information and also do some experiential activities. Today's session is not about telling you guys what gratitude is all about. Anybody who doesn't know what being grateful is, or what gratitude concept is all about, can simply Google it. And you can find out a lot of information on the internet as to how to be grateful, or in what ways gratitude and being grateful in our daily lives can better your health. Today's session is really about taking the concept of gratitude and implementing it in your daily life. We in a lot of ways, we talk a lot about gratitude, especially during different seasons of our life. The season of Thanksgiving, for example, during Thanksgiving holidays, is always the time when we talk about gratitude. It's always the time when we focus on it. It's always the time when we tell our kids and loved ones to give thanks. What about the other times? What about now? What about today? So today's session is really not about providing you with any new information or a lot of the new information. It's not about just the theory of being grateful. Today's session is very much about making this a part of your life. We all talk about it, me included. We talk about gratitude a lot, yet implementing it into your daily life and really making it part of your mindfulness practice can be a huge challenge, especially when you're faced with tough circumstances. And a lot of us are faced with tough circumstances right now. Ambiguity and trying to deal with change, a lot of the things that are different and uncertain in our lives these days. So talking about gratitude is gonna bring maybe a new light, bring some things into a new light for you today. So we ask that you are open-minded, and we also ask that you're self-reflective in this practice today. If you don't have any experience whatsoever with mindfulness or mindfulness practices, don't fret. You are in the right place at the right time. Everything that we're going to be doing is going to be very simple and non-threatening, and hopefully will bring some peace in your life, and hopefully bring some new refreshing practices in your life today. So our learning objectives for today is to understand the concept of gratitude as a tool to increase your personal resiliency. We talk about resiliency a lot. Gratitude is just one of the tools that we use in order to help you bounce back from difficult situations, in order to help you get through different life struggles easier, in order to help you expand that resiliency and work on that on a daily basis. Resiliency is something, it's like a muscle. It really is not something that you can do and practice a tool or two here and there and suddenly become resilient and stay resilient for the rest of your life. Resilience needs to be exercised. It's like a muscle that expands, contracts, and also can get really, really, really strong. The more tools we have and the more tools we use to expand our resilience, the better off we are. So the good news is resilience is really something that you can work on a daily basis and get better at. The concept of resilience is really just the ability to, again, just like I said, bounce back from difficult situations and get better at taking care of yourself, your mental self, your emotional self, your physical self in a time of difficulty. Gratitude is just one of the tools that we're going to talk about. We have a lot more to cover. Our next session is going to be on self-compassion and self-care. We have sessions on mindful eating and staying connected while you're socially, maybe physically distant. So any and all of those tools can be just tools in our back pocket that we can pull out at any time of the day to really work on our resiliency. We're going to talk a little bit about personal and social benefits of gratitude and some tools and resources to support your own gratitude practices, maybe ongoing, maybe new to you, just for you individually and for your groups. And we'll give you some tools on how to share some of these tools and gratitude practices with the group that you're working with, or even just with your family, with your loved ones, with somebody who is near and dear to you. So really, what is gratitude? Gratitude is a noun. And according to a dictionary, this is what it means: the quality of being thankful, readiness to show appreciation for and to return kindness. So we're going to talk quite a bit today about what that really means. What does it mean to show appreciation, and who do we return kindness to? To the person who did something nice to us? Maybe to ourselves? We don't know. So this is something that will lead us to a path of self-discovery today. I love this. I love Piglet. I think Piglet is really wise, along with Winnie the Pooh. If you don't know those two little dudes, I encourage you to explore a little bit the world of Winnie the Pooh. There is a lot of wisdom there. And Piglet really noticed that even though he had a very small heart, he's a tiny little guy, his heart would hold a rather large amount of gratitude. So this is something to think about in terms of our resiliency concept that I just mentioned. you can expand your gratitude. You can also expand your ability to be grateful. Even if you don't see anything good in what is happening today, even if you don't see anything good in what is happening in your life currently, or you don't see any lessons from the past because life did not treat you well, there is an ability for you to expand that gratitude muscle as well in your heart and within yourself. This is especially important to those of us who are really dealing with a lot during this season of our lives. COVID did not add any ease to those of us who already struggle with challenges of life. Maybe something is going on in your personal life. Maybe something is going on at work. Maybe you're dealing with a lot of past. Maybe you're afraid of the future. How can gratitude and being present in today make a difference for you? We'll talk about that today. So why does it matter? There is an enormous amount of research around gratitude. And again, if you ask your friend Google, he will provide you with a lot of resources, but we can also provide you with some of the links and some of the content that relates to this particular slide. So if you would like to know a little bit more about research behind the concept of gratitude, please let us know in your survey feedback or just connect with us via email. We will provide that information at the end of the presentation. Gratitude improves your psychological well-being. It decreases your depressive symptoms. It improves your working memory. There's quite a few studies that have been done with teens and young adults and also college students. And they really show, the studies really show that folks and kids especially who are able to work with this concept of gratitude and find something good in every day, they are working better. Their minds are working better. They're able to retain information better. And it's especially good for the improvement of your short-term memory. The concept of gratitude as a research subject really stems from a lot of the work of Martin Seligman. He is one of the founders of the concept of positive psychology. And on your spare time, if you have time to look at some of the research and if you want to read a really good informative book, Flourish is one of the books that he wrote, and it's very heavy on the research information, but also really great on a lot of the content and experiential things that he noticed with people who were exposed to the learnings of gratitude and experiencing those practices on a daily basis. He calls them life's little blessings, and there's a lot of positive psychology behind how being grateful really changes the neurology of your brain and really expands your ability to be more resilient. Gratitude improves your sleep. It improves your immune system function, believe it or not. Just like majority of or pretty much all of the things that related to mindfulness that we talk about show the connection between mind and body. The physicality of your body is not just its own. It doesn't stand on its own. Your body is fully connected to your mind, and your mind can really affect how your body operates and functions. So being grateful and practicing some of the mindfulness tools and some of the things that we're going to be doing together today really can improve your immune system function. And of course, being grateful improves relationships. Who doesn't like when hearing thank you? Who doesn't like when folks are kind to you? Everybody does. So it really is good and beneficial for relationships. The concept of not waiting to be grateful. So this is a tough one to talk about sometimes. Do you notice yourself waiting for the next best thing? And maybe you don't, but some folks do. It's a phenomenon that we all have within ourselves. Well, I'll be happy when and insert the blank, whatever it is for you, when I get a new car, when I finish college, when I finally move out of my parents' house, when I don't have to share a room with my sibling, when I, and we wait for that next best thing. Or we wait for the big thing to happen to us, something grandiose, something so impactful that will certainly make a difference. The research shows that really only 10% of your happiness is dependent on your circumstances. Could everybody please mute your lines so that we don't have any background noise?
And then if you can do like exit, okay, full screen.
Thank you. My apologies for that. So the research shows that only about 10% of your happiness really is dependent on your circumstances. which means that folks in different places of the world that we know are empowered, in poverty, people who live the lifestyle that is not really something we know, like people in developing countries, people in Africa, people who don't have running water. In many of those countries, according to research, people show tremendous amount of happiness. They actually feel that their life is great. And we look at the circumstances they're in and think to ourselves, what? That can't be. If I had to not have running water, or if I don't have a sewer system and can't use a toilet, my life would be over, right? So for a lot of us, those really small, little, overlooked daily blessings shape how we view our happiness. Again, only 10% of us is dependent, 10% of your happiness is really dependent on your circumstances. Think about the healing power of being content. Content with where you're at right now, content with your life, content with who you are. And that is difficult. The lesson in being content is not a lesson learned. It's a lesson that is a journey. It's a lesson that probably for most of us will have no end. It will probably end with our life. Being content is tough for kids. Being content is tough for teens. It's very difficult for adults. It doesn't discriminate. Generationally, concept of being content is tough. So I want you to think about the very first vehicle you've purchased, not the one that was given to you, but the one that you had actually worked for, the one that you went and had to pay some money for and get tabs for. Remember that feeling of holding the keys to that car? Getting into that car and driving it for the first time, whether you took it to work or to your high school's parking lot, wherever. Being so helpfully proud of your accomplishment. This is mine. I've made it. I've purchased this. Until you saw your friend's car who parked right next to you in that parking lot. And guess what? His car was newer. Her car was better. Has leather seats and air conditioning that actually works. And suddenly your vehicle is no longer good, right? Remember that sinking feeling of comparing yourself to everybody else and everyone else. And suddenly you're content, and the feeling of healthy pride and the feeling of accomplishment is gone. It's erased. Comparison will kill your joy. Gratitude for the present and for what you have is a tough concept to grasp. It's something that I struggle with on a daily basis. I look at my home, I look at myself, I look at my family, and I can't help it but want to compare myself and keep up with the Joneses and get this and get that. And that spirit of striving and wanting more and getting somewhere in life is what a lot of times would prevent a lot of us from enjoying the moment. So living in that spirit of non-striving, living in the spirit of observation, living in the spirit of how can I see something good where I am right now is what we really are wanting and needing you to do in order to be a healthy, better version of yourself. And a lot of folks would say, well, my life is just not good right now. And a majority of us can relate to it at one or any point in our lives. We've probably been in a situation where just nothing is going right. We're just waiting for another, shoe to drop and something else to happen and something bad come to our lives all over again. Nothing is going well. What do we do? How do we see those little things that are really impactful in our lives? I have this really wise person that I don't look up to but watch videos of quite often. My daughter introduced me to him, and his name is Kid President. You perhaps have seen some of the YouTube videos of his. So we're actually going to take a few minutes and watch one of his videos. It's quite entertaining. But what he does and what this video does really is reminding us of those little tiny things that we just take for granted and dismiss like something that doesn't matter or is not of value.
A broken healthcare system, a broken economic system.
So let's be real. Some days are hard. So I made this list of awesome things I'm thankful for. Yeah. Sometimes I need reminding that things are not all that bad. So I wanted to share a few because you guys are my friends. It's great to be alive. And here's some reminders why. First one, bubble wrap. When cats do their tongue, like this. I'm also thankful for the little paw pads like the cats and dogs have and the sound it makes. Paw pads. I love them. Hey, turn that back on. Oh, no. Change it. Ah, there, that's better. Music is magical. It can make anything better. Bright music can make a video better. The same goes with life. Singing. I like paw pats. Singing. If something's boring, just sing it, and that will make it better. Watching paint dry. It's really cool. Old people who still hold hands. Clouds that look like stuff. One time I saw a cloud that looked like an airplane, and I realized it was an airplane. Imagination. Without it, we wouldn't have airplanes, no internet, pants. We gotta wear them, because if we didn't, it would be sort of awkward. Pants. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Clean. Clothes with funny names, like Windbreaker. Birthday cake. No reason at all cake. Just cake. Sorry, we filmed this while I was hungry. Forgiveness. I'm Kid President, but I ain't perfect. Ain't a word. We all mess up. Come on. Don't mess up and forget to forgive all the mess ups. Thankful plants undergo photosynthesis, using the energy from the sun to convert carbon dioxide to oxygen, providing us with the air we need to do things like this. I'm bored. Morgan Freeman's voice. Hello, I'm Morgan Freeman. I'm working on it. My voice is changing, but it hasn't changed that much. Food, taco, burger. I know, I already said food, but this is my list and my rules. Happiness. Sadness. Sad isn't bad. It helps you know what you care about. People. Sometimes people can be really people-y, but we need each other. Life's better with people in it. Family, friends, you. Just being alive. Sometimes we forget how it's just great to be alive. We're breathing. Some days are tough, but we got a lot to be thankful for. We just have to look for it sometimes. They say if you have food in your fridge, clothes on your back, and a place to sleep, you're richer than 75% of the world. I did not know that. So what would you add to the list? Let me know. Share this video with someone you're really thankful for. Oh, and of course, also this. Dancing!
So I love this video. Every time I watch it, I just smile. I've seen it probably hundreds of times, but every time I'm reminded of those small little things, of those overlooked blessings that we just don't see every day. So I want you to think about what those things are for you. What are your overlooked blessings? Gratitude is really a path to self-discovery, and it rings through every day and all day that it's not the happiness that brings us gratitude, it's the gratitude that brings us happiness. Don't wait to be grateful. Be grateful today for what you have right now, right in this moment. Today, personally, I am grateful for a couple of very small things that probably matter very little to anyone but me. One of them is a little mint plant. It's sitting right there on my windowsill. And the reason why I'm so grateful for my mint plant is because up to date, I successfully killed every single living plant that I have ever had in my house. And this little tiny mint plant, herb, right, survived a week. You guys, seriously, a week for a mint plant in my house is amazing. I'm really grateful it's still alive. I keep watering it diligently. So hopefully it stays that way. You know, and another thing that I think about when I think about gratitude for myself today, a coffee cup. I am excited and very grateful for a coffee cup. And the reason why I'm so excited and grateful about it is because every morning when I wake up, my coffee cup sits right next to my coffee pot, because my husband takes it down and sets it for me every single night before he goes to bed. That coffee cup represents a lot. It represents a commitment. It represents love. It represents faith. It represents something that nobody can take away from us and the connection that we have. Something little that is very overlooked in many situations, yet can be so powerful and so big. Think about those things. What overlooked blessings do you have to be grateful for right now, in this moment? Let's just take a few minutes and think about that. Just like I mentioned before, something about today's session is perhaps a little different than the presentations that you've seen before. We would like for you to do some of this work with us today, right now. We talk about gratitude all the time. You know, we hear a lot, and our kids and teens hear a lot. Well, you know, be grateful for what you have. What are you grateful for today? Those things that we take for granted. Share with us. You can plop it into chat function and just let us know what that is, what it is for you. We would love to hear from you. Take a few minutes and really reflect on what your overlooked blessings are. Those simple things every day that bring you joy. Or they're just there, like having running water, perhaps nice weather, perhaps the sun.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of them. So we're getting grandparents, grandchildren, working from my backyard, friends, the sun, a lot of family.
I love it.
Yeah, a lot of good things in there.
I love it. I think a lot of the family connection. Thank you guys for plugging in your thoughts and participating. You know, these days, a lot of us feel so very overly connected virtually, and sometimes so very disconnected from people who are the closest to us, or perhaps some of our family we can't even see due to the limitations of our situation. So it's wonderful to hear how grateful you are for having the family. There is this little story that is floating. Again, there's a video on YouTube, and also it's been floating around on the internet, and it really resonates with me. So I do want to share it with you, and that's especially good for those of us who, on a daily basis, really struggle with finding something good in our daily lives. So a marketing executive is walking down the street, Wall Street in New York. And he sees this homeless man sitting on the sidewalk. And the homeless man is holding a sign that says something like, you know, I'm sick, I need money, I'm blind, and please help me. And people are just walking by, completely ignoring him. Nobody is even connecting eyes with him. The marketing executive stops, looks at the blind homeless man, and thinks to himself, I want to make a difference. I want to help him. I want to help him somehow. So he walks up to the blind homeless man and asks him if he can rewrite his sign. And the guy says, well, I'm not getting any help here. Nobody's stopping by. Nobody's even talking to me. So go right ahead. And in fact, even if you write something different, I won't even really know what it is. So the marketing exec takes his sign, flips it over, and with the Sharpie writes something else, hands the sign back to the blind homeless man and steps away. And suddenly people notice the sign, read it, and stop. They stop, they connect eyes, they look at the homeless man, and they realize that he can't see them. And then they walk up to him and hand him some money. Some people hand him some food, perhaps. What was written on the sign? The first time I heard the story, I was wondering, maybe it's something about this homeless man's situation, something from his past, or maybe something that led him to where he is today. And in fact, the sign read something profoundly so simple. Today is the first day of spring, and I am blind. Just think about that. Today is the first day of spring, and I am blind. The sign and the message did not appeal to your sense of pity, or made you compare your good well-being to somebody's bad well-being. It didn't talk about money. It didn't talk about wealth or possessions. It stated something so profoundly simple. I cannot see. I can feel the sun touching my skin, but I can't see it, and you can. And that's what's different about me. So those overlooked blessings are really important. This is probably one of the biggest lessons in gratitude I have ever received, and Stacy would probably agree with me. It's not looking for the big things. It's noticing the coffee cup. It's noticing the mint plant. It's thinking about your family, those folks who really make a difference in your life. Our next experiential learning is about yourself. What about yourself are you grateful for? What it is within yourself that really resonates with you as a point of gratitude? Take a few minutes and think about it. Really reflect on what are you grateful for about yourself. In many cases, and Stacy and I have learned that from teaching a lot of the seminars and workshops and working a lot with our teens and adult groups. A lot of times people would define themselves with things like, I'm a good mother, or I'm a wonderful friend. What else about yourself? Maybe your physical being. What do you like about yourself? What are the things you appreciate about yourself? This is usually the toughest question to answer. We're really good at noticing good about others and looking for good in others, or situational goodness and gratitude. But this is the practice of self-love and self-compassion and self-gratitude. If anybody is willing to share their responses in a chat box, that would be wonderful.
Okay, we're getting a lot of good responses. So that I'm loved, I'm keeping a positive attitude, resourceful, I love my smile, sense of humor, good at learning, finding humor, kind and care about others, I'm positive, helping, I'm helpful, creative, I listen, I persevere.
That is wonderful. Those are great responses. Thank you guys for participating and providing some feedback for us. You know, when you mentioned humor a lot, I use this example sometimes because it resonates with me on a daily basis. It might not resonate with you, but especially for some of us ladies, how many of us walk into the bathroom first thing in the morning, look in the mirror and go, man, I'm so drop dead gorgeous, right? So sometimes it's kind of difficult to find something good about ourselves, about our internal being, or even external, like physical being. So there is this exercise in self-gratitude that we encourage you to do on a daily basis. Every morning when you wake up, try to focus on something about yourself that you appreciate. It can be a physical trait. It can be something you're good at. It can be something you just feel like as a being you provide so much value to others, or it's a trait of yours that is really positive. And you know, in all honesty, sometimes it can be just one thing, and it can be one thing for a long time, because we are not really good sometimes at noticing great stuff about ourselves. And that's the case for you. Then repeat that same thing every day until there is a day where you can notice something else, and add that to the list. My smile, my hair, I'm a good friend, I'm an exceptionally funny person. Whatever that is for you, just keep adding it to a list and build up this really awesome list of really great things that you know about yourself. And this one, is sometimes can be difficult too. What helps you enjoy the moment without thinking of anything else? So this goes back to our conversation about non-striving. So without needing something else, needing to do something else or change anything or change your situation, or go anywhere or do anything right now, right in this moment, if you briefly, for just a second, close your eyes, what comes to mind? What are you really, really thankful for? What do you enjoy the most? What is the thing that comes to your mind right now that is really impactful in your life? Can be very different right now versus 20 minutes from now or an hour from now. It can be different for all of us at any point in time. Right now, when I close my eyes for a spare second, I'm really, really, really grateful for Wi-Fi, because without Wi-Fi, you and I would not be talking right now. So super grateful for that. And I enjoy my moment with you during this presentation because I have Wi-Fi. What it is for you? What is it for you? What do you enjoy in this moment? What helps you enjoy right now, right here, without thinking of anything else?
So we have somebody that wrote learning, being in nature, especially at Lake Superior, fishing, my view out the window, networking, being just sitting quietly, music, sunshine, flowers, bird watching.
Oh, I love it.
Having this conversation, being at the farmer's market, focusing on the positive.
Somebody mentioned farmer's market. I love that. I was just at the farmer's market yesterday, and it was wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you guys for sharing. And this last one is exceptionally important. Please take time with this one. Who are you grateful for in your life? If you would like to share with us, please do. But this one, we really want you to hang on to and really ponder for the rest of our conversation today. Who in your life made a huge impact? Whether it's a person who is living or a person who passed, or somebody you used to know, or somebody who is in your life constantly and has been there for you. Just stay tuned to that person for just a few more moments, and we'll talk a little bit more about it in just a minute.
Okay, so thank you, Jana. I am very thankful for just breathing and having oxygen come in and having that oxygen really fuel me. So we're going to give Jana just a chance to catch her breath, and I'm actually going to take you on a mindfulness, gratitude, resiliency activity. And so, like Jana had mentioned before, we really want to help build your resiliency muscle. And so I really want you to take that person or those people that you just thought about and just let them settle in your mind for just a second. And take some time right in this moment to place yourself in a very comfortable position and taking a few deep breaths. And just let your chest rise and fall with each inhalation and exhalation. And when you are ready, if you feel comfortable, you can close your eyes. And then as you continue to breathe slowly and deeply, let your attention rest gently on your breath, feeling the moment as it enters your nose and exits your body. Each time you exhale, just let go of any tension. Relax your face, your shoulders, your belly, and your legs. On your next exhalation, settle all your attention on the area around your heart. You can put your hand over your heart if you would like, and focus on the feeling of love, compassion, empathy, forgiveness. And with your attention on your heart center, bring to mind something or someone you are grateful for. Maybe it's that person who you were just thinking about in the previous slide. And as you continue with your easy, relaxed breathing, perhaps you feel gratitude for being alive or healthy. Perhaps you feel grateful for the abundance of nature that produces food to nourish your body and the beautiful scenery to nourish your soul. Bring your attention to people and that person who you're thinking about, who truly nourish you in your life and how they bless you with their presence. Now feel gratitude for your own life and the many gifts you have been blessed with. Now bring your attention to how this gratitude feels in the area around your heart. With each inhale, let this feeling grow outwards, expanding to fill your chest, your arms, your hands, your legs and feet. With each inhalation, this feeling grows, filling you up. And now as you return your attention to your breath, let your body remember the sensations of your gratitude toward yourself and to people around you and to this person you're thinking of. Take 2 more deep breaths, filling your belly and filling your lungs. Exhaling fully. And on your next exhalation, go ahead and wiggle your fingers and your toes. Open your eyes if they're closed and bring yourself back to the presentation. And there was a question about not having any sensation around the heart. And yep, and that's okay. It's wherever you feel it or whatever arises is okay. There's no right or wrong that comes up. It's just allowing yourself to be in that moment, to be with your breath. And that is basically the next slide, like your practice every day. I teach mindfulness training, and it's called training because it takes time and it does take practice. On this side, we talk about the practice of every day. Here's some simple tools that you could do. Doing a gratitude journal. So at the end of the day or the beginning or whenever you feel like it, you just write a list of things that you're grateful for. It's very good for brain chemistry. Three good things is another activity that you can do. A lot of research behind it. If you can write down 3 good things every day right before you go to bed for 14 days, it increases your happiness and it changes your brain chemistry for up to 6 months. So it's very, very powerful. Gratitude meditation like the one that we just did. This script is actually on our website, which I'll show you that in a moment. A gratitude wall or board. So whenever you're going through a magazine or you just see something that you like, you take a picture, you print that out and just have everything that you're grateful for right on a cork board or wherever you can see it. That visual presence is so very powerful. Write a note or letter of gratitude to someone who is very important to you, very powerful. So even the person who you just thought of or somebody who had really good impact or positive impact over you in your life that you feel like you've never properly thanked, feel free to write a note and send it or read it out loud to them. We know the research behind that also changes brain chemistry and for up to 2 months. So it's very, very powerful. These practices are very powerful. And here's our 3 good things worksheet that's on our website. And so you can print this out or you can just use regular paper if you want. And it just goes through Monday through Sunday for 2 weeks. And you can just write down your 3 good things. And then also on our website, we have under a resiliency tab, we have our life balance and there's our gratitude tab. And so there's your gratitude worksheet. We have it's a great worksheet to just reflect on different areas of thought. And the gratitude meditation script that I just read to you, and also the 3 good things worksheet is on there as well.
The good news for those of us who maybe are not experienced mindfulness practitioners, or you don't really feel comfortable maybe reading the script to a group of people that you're working with or to your family, there's actually an audio on the website as well. You can just play it and participate in this practice yourself along with the group of people that you're working with. So made it as user-friendly as possible for you to have all the tools that you need to practice it on a daily basis with the group of people that you're with, regardless of your skill level or comfort level with mindfulness tools. If you would like to sign up for a newsletter and hear more about Change to Chill tools and what we do and our work, and maybe staying tuned into mindfulness practices and managing your stress better, this is a great spot to do that. And then our upcoming sessions, I'm sure you already probably know about those, but we're going to be talking about self-care, staying connected while physically distant is going to be an amazing session. We're going to also address mindful eating and have that conversation, and also some experiential practices at the end of August. So let us know what you think. You will be receiving a survey within 24 hours. This was a very short over lunch conversation today. We appreciate all of you for being here with us. Thank you for putting up with some of our nervousness, or mine at least. Stacy, as always, did a phenomenal job. Visit our website and email us. Just let us know what you think, and also let us know if you need more resources or if you have any questions or anything that we can do to help you. We have some other resources listed here. Please plug in those into your web browser and look up some of those, like Penny George Institute for Health and Healing has a ton of amazing resources and a lot more in-depth classes and some of the other work that they do. And also we have a blog. It's a Healthy Set Go blog by Alana Health. There's a lot of resources and interesting information on there as well. So thank you so much for being with us. We're going to stay on for just a few minutes if somebody in chat wants to talk or has any questions or wants to connect. Otherwise, thank you again, and we will see you next time.